Hey everyone, it's Tricia. It's been a while. I'm back for the final episode of season two, episode 62. Thanks to David for graciously hosting the last few weeks to give me some breathing room. It's been such a busy season. David and I will take the summer to regroup and plan for season three, but I wanted to do one last final episode to cap it off properly. So here I am offering my personal reflections on the key lessons from the year to say bye and to thank everyone for contributing to the second season. So I was thinking about the key lessons. How many do you do? And I thought, let's go with five. In many traditions around the world, five symbolizes freedom and curiosity and change, a desire to explore new possibilities. And that felt right, even though honestly, most days I just want to reject the new possibilities that generative AI presents. I just want it to go away. I want to reverse the clock and forget this mess is even happening. But on my good days, I know that's not helpful. So instead, I try and stay curious about the possibilities, harness my own agency to shape the future that I want to see and to resist the future I don't want to see, and then help others to do the same. So that was the point of the book, right? And this podcast to help instructors, administrators, and staff and leaders change to improve the teaching, learning, and assessment experience in the age of AI and to do it all with as much integrity as we can muster. So here's my five lessons for freedom, curiosity, and change from season two. And you might be able to tell I'm reading some notes here, so bear with me. Lesson one, be sufficiently curious to adopt a wise model of use. We got this term from episode 58. Jason Stevens reminded us that when we interact with Gen AI, we need to exercise discernment, make judgments about when to lean on the tool and when not to. Certainly, we can determine what's appropriate to offload, and especially stuff that's unrelated to learning or facilitating or validating learning. But we can't outsource the work that's actually needed to happen for learning to occur. Learning's friction, and friction's difficult. It slows us down, and that's kind of the point of education, isn't it? Jason Lodge in episode 49 echoed this in a different way. He said, "You can't have an aha moment without first being stuck." Sure, AI can get you to the finish line, but it won't give you the thing you would have gotten there if you'd gone towards it by yourself. This is the work of education, and we shouldn't let the tool, tell us which way to go or how fast to go or make decisions for us. Lesson two, feel free to feel hopefully pessimistic. I've been calling myself a hopeful pessimist for about a year now, and I find it to be a good balance. Karen Costa in episode 44 reminded us that even when we have many conflicted feelings about AI, we can find hope by engaging with curious, kind people that we've talked to in our podcast who are trying, experimenting, questioning, thinking, resisting, adopting, all of those things. And then Lou and Todd captured the pessimistic part in a way very cleanly in episode 51. We didn't ask for this. We didn't want unregulated, unchecked technology to keep coming at us every week or so with new developments. So, when I'm feeling hopeful, I don't live in constant doom scroll about the current potential harms of AI, of which there are many. Instead, I try and find hope that the friction that Gen AI is causing will bring about new ways of teaching, learning, and assessing with integrity. And when I'm feeling pessimistic, I don't uncritically accept that these tools are inevitable and that we have no choice. Instead, I make clear choices like those that Lou and Todd suggest in their book, The Science of Learning Meets AI, which I suggest is a good follow-up to The Opposite of Cheating. Lesson three, recognize that assessment is the problem. Now, look, I don't want to rip students away from their moral agency to make good choices even when no one's watching. But the advent of Gen AI has made us realize that students misbehaving is not the main part of the problem. Assessment is. Students will act against or with the incentives, right? So, as Kath Ellis noted in episode 34, educators have tended to focus on how best to inspire learning, which is great and it feels good. But creating meaningful and authentic assessments alone isn't enough. We must also closely observe learning in order to assure it. And Craig Zillis backed that up with a strong argument in episode 48 about the responsibilities that the institutions play to provide the resources to enable such secure in-person observed assessments. In other words, we can't, as Loretta Goff said in episode 16, wave our magic wand to resolve the problems that are facing us. We need resources, we need time, we need training and support to revise assessments, to determine when we should be inspiring and when we should be assuring learning, and to put the infrastructure in place to enable that shift. That is, colleges and universities must stop asking faculty to rebuild the plane while they're flying it. Lesson 4, the compliance game is over. Okay. Look, if you have a sweet tooth and you're trying to diet, you don't put a box of donuts on your counter and force yourself to resist them, to comply with your set goal of eating less sugar. Instead, you rid your kitchen of sugar to reduce the temptation opportunities for acting against your values and goals, right? Yet so often, faculty are not doing that for their students. Instead, they're not ridding their space of the temptations of Gen AI. Instead, they're saying, here, go do this unsupervised assessment, but don't use Gen AI. And then they want to punish students who don't comply. And I get it. Again, we should expect students to be able to make good ethical decisions under stress and pressure, but all the time, constantly? If we do expect that, then I think we're expecting our students to be superhuman. It doesn't work, and it erodes the trust in education, and it hurts students. It hurts their learning. So instead, we must undertake lesson 3, which we already talked about, securing assessments, and lesson 4, which is when students cheat, let's not make it about punishing their lack of compliance, but make it about learning from mistakes. Jessa Kirk makes this point in episode 61 when she talks about all the great things that UC Santa Cruz is now doing to educate students after a violation. My newest co-authors, Mary Davis and Zenith Khan, in episode 55 offered something similar when they said that the shift away from compliance isn't just about observing students more closely, it's about teaching them to take ethical responsibility for their actions, to make good ethical decisions even under stress and pressure. Because let's face it, we're trying to graduate the next generation of citizens and professionals, and we can't have functioning democratic societies if ethical conduct, if ethical decision-making and acting takes a back seat. And this brings us to lesson 5, because what is more human than ethical decision-making? We must recognize the humanity in all of this. This theme came up most explicitly with Nick Pokolinsky in episode 45. He's from the K through 12 world, but it was echoed elsewhere too. Let's be honest, we missed the boat on social media, right? We sat back, we let the platforms, the companies shape childhood, adolescence, and college life, and now we're spending public health dollars trying to repair the damage. We can't do that again. So that means that educational institutions, especially ones that are providing AI tools to their students, have to pay attention not just to learning, but to our students' mental and physical health as well. We've already seen evidence of the harm, and so let's not pretend it's not there. Let's be curious and caring. And as David and I say in the book, let's listen to our students with open minds and hearts, hear them when they tell us things that are difficult to say, and frankly, things that are difficult to receive, and then act on those things. Above all, let's remember to be human, even or especially when others are pushing for a machine-driven world. I'm going to have to move my monitor here. Can't see my notes. So thank you. Thank you to every guest who came on season 2, all of you. I couldn't mention you all today, but please know that David and I are both so appreciative of your time, and we're better at what we do because of you. Thanks to David, of course, recording a podcast, multiple episodes over different time zones with 2 full-time jobs and lots of other responsibilities. It takes a special kind of partnership and friendship, so thank you for that. Thanks to our listeners who tuned in, who shared episodes with colleagues, who shared suggestions with us. Thank you. This is a passion project of David and I. We never expected to last over 2 years, and we wouldn't be here if you didn't keep listening and didn't tell us that it was worthwhile. And thank you. Thank you to all of the folks out there who are doing the hard work of trying to ensure that we still teach, learn, and assess with integrity in the age of AI, and that we put humanity, learning, and the development of better societies at the front of everything we do. and that we remember that's why we're all here. Cheers to season 2. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you have a great summer. I hope you find some time to put your oxygen mask on first before we get back at it in the fall. And we look forward to hearing your ideas for season 3. If you have them, please share them. And then we look forward to seeing you again come the next academic year. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.